Time to take a little bit of a film breakdown video analysis with Lance from the first couple days of camp out at the Greenbrier. Start with how Deshaun Watson looked. That's going to be the most important topic until we get into the regular season.
Yeah, so the one thing that a couple things I've noticed, like what we've talked about them not kind of cranking it up yet. The reason I don't think they're really cranking it up because there's not a lot of spots up for grabs, right? So you're going to see in the preseason, you're going to see those second, third team guys really get after it because they know who their starters are. Now, from the short amount of practice that I've watched, and like I said, I'm really looking forward to get back out there Sunday. They are really Ken Dorsey's really doing a good job of trying to get Deshaun Watson's lower body involved. When you're an incredibly talented athlete and you have arm talent, like a guy like Deshaun Watson, sometimes you don't need to use your lower body. But what that does, it'll save your arm and it saves you reps if you can get your whole body. So I've seen a lot of rotational stuff, a lot of torque stuff, the ability to get him to use that lower body so he can even generate more power when he throws a football.
Yeah, and one of the things that we've said about Dorsey, he's an offensive mind, a really good offensive coordinator. He's probably a better quarterback coach. Here's the clip that you're talking about where you're looking at that lower half.
So constantly working these drills, these partner drills, and this is just a drill you're going to work and we're going to flipping your hips and driving the ball. And what I saw from Deshaun is his getting his left shoulder, his left hip and shoulder, and really rotating to the other side, so that right shoulder and right hip. And not only is Ken Dorsey a really, really good quarterback coach, but he also played at a very high level. And there are a lot of really good coaches who don't play at a high level, but sometimes, especially at the position coach, it helps because Dorsey has seen all this stuff. And Dorsey's a guy who had to use all his tools, was not a super athlete. So he knows how to maximize your lower body and how to maximize your rotation and all these drills that he's doing constantly on all those guys about getting your hips to the target, stepping outside your target, following through, basically using your entire body on throws. I think it's really going to be helpful, especially when Deshaun's in the pocket, being fundamentally sound, never to miss a throw that he should make.
Yeah, and to your point, the guys that are super athletic don't have to do a lot of the little things well to be successful. Guys like Ken Dorsey, you got to do every little thing well to play at the level that he played at collegiately with the U, if you will. The other thing that this next clip is going to show, running backs look like they're going to be involved in this passing game quite a bit.
So two things you'll see. First of all, you'll see Deshaun really rotate those hips on his throw, really get off that back foot, the right foot. You'll see his heel come up off the ground, just generating a lot of power. I think he's exaggerating just because he wants to really work on his fundamentals. A lot of backs out of the backfield. This clip is good because they worked backs, tight ends, 7 routes. I've read lots of stuff over the last couple of days about Deshaun Watson struggling with different stuff. And, there is something called the camp arm, too. These guys are throwing hundreds and hundreds of balls. He is coming off major surgery, but I'll tell you what, he made all the throws. He was quick. He was decisive. His footwork is very good. And again, this is the type of throw right here that Deshaun Watson can do without good footwork. But when you have good footwork and you're as talented as he is, you don't miss these throws. Once in a while, you miss throws when you're not fundamentally sound, and these guys can do that. But you don't miss throws like this when you're fundamentally sound when you're Deshaun Watson. So again, fundamentally good, worked all the routes, threw all the routes. I've seen a big progression out of him since mandatory minicamp in amount of throws, velocity of throws, and depth of throws.
The other thing is he's done back-to-back days. At some point, they're going to rest him because that's going to be part of the plan, and people shouldn't freak out if Deshaun Watson doesn't throw on a specific day because there is a plan to it. But he has been throwing every day pretty much that they've been practicing, so that's also good to see without question. This next clip, we keep hearing good things about Cedric Tillman.
So Cedric Tillman came into camp long, looks in great shape, physically fit. He's 6'3", he's pushing 220. Here he runs a vertical route. So a couple things. Once again, Deshaun Watson's on time with the ball. Here's the vertical throw everybody wants to see. I'm not really as impressed with the vertical throw as I am with the accuracy and anticipation. These are throws he can make without question. The arm strength really comes in those chunk plays from 20 to 25 yards. So this is great anticipation, great accuracy, great catch by Tillman. Again, Deshaun Watson's on the right path. They are building towards September 8th. And As I've said many times with all coaches and the Browns coaches as well, you don't really have to like the plan, but the Browns have a plan for everything they do, and that's the key. It's not if you like the plan, it's the fact that they have it, and that's what I love about this offensive staff, these guys. I think Cedric Tillman could be a guy who can make some plays, big, long, fast, could be a red zone guy right away.
I tell you, when I saw this clip, the thing that jumps out to me is what they're going to do is identify a matchup that they like against a given team, and that's the kind of thing that you're going to see because they feel whoever's playing corner can't match up with that wide receiver. Those are the type of things that Deshaun Watson in Houston was doing and just picking apart defenses. Those are the exact type of plays.
Well, and the thing is, that's why you need Amari Cooper, because Amari Cooper, if you think about the Ravens, Amari Cooper is going to take Marlon Humphrey, right? So then all these other guys got to make plays against the second corner, and David Njoku against linebackers and safeties. Same with Elijah Moore. Then you get Ced Tillman in the red zone. You got all these guys, Jerry Jeudy, who I think has a tremendous skill set, just hasn't shown it yet. So having Cooper back is that one. I always like to say having that alpha back at the one receiver allows all the rest of these guys to find matchups. And Ken Dorsey does a great job of that. Obviously, Deshaun Watson's a very high-level processor. He understands. He's not out there. He's just not an athlete. Deshaun Watson understands the game of football and processes information, and the Browns can create some matchup issues if these guys can come along.
So you mentioned Cooper. This next clip is Cooper connecting with Watson. That connections looked pretty good all early camp.
So, another thing here. So it's just a rhythm throw, timing throw. These are the things. The reason I like this clip is that this is why you have to practice as a football player. And I understand people need rests and I injuries and all that things are. But if you want to know what practice does, it allows you to work this one-step fade in the red zone with Amari Cooper, Tillman, all these big guys who are going to have matchups they can win, right? And that's against Martin Emerson, who's a long guy. So the Browns have as good a corners as any. So these receivers and the quarterbacks, that's why they all need to work as much as they can. This is the type of play, the timing. Where is Cooper going to be? Where does he want the ball? How fast is he? What's his move off the line of scrimmage? These are all things you iron out during camp. And every receiver is different. Every quarterback's different. That's why you need the reps. This is a really good timing throw down in the red zone.
So that's Cooper again making a pretty nice catch. Might have been pass interference, but if it doesn't get called, it's okay.